hero of all time. Begin the saga of Thor in this issue. The action begins on page 1. Thor the Mighty and the Stone Men from Saturn.
The legend has come true. By the will of the gods, I am alive. I am invincible. I am Thor.
Our story opens on the windy coast of Norway, where we see a frail figure silhouetted against the bleak sky. He is Dr. Don Blake, an American vacationing in Europe. And as Dr. Blake turns and leaves the site, he doesn't see the strange alien spaceship which silently lands behind him. Two principals in a grim pageant, neither one noticing the other. But how different would things be if they were to meet at this moment? How different would be the future of all mankind? But ours is a drama decreed by the fates to be acted out. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can change it. Watch and see.
Ah, at last, we are on Earth.
This atmosphere, it is so different from our own planet.
That is to our advantage. On Saturn, we are mighty beings. But here, in this oxygen atmosphere, our strength is even greater.
Behold how easily I lift this plant thing out of the ground.
Ah, well done, Gore. Now watch, as I prove the invulnerability of our stone bodies. Without the slightest hesitation, I jump. For I know that nothing on this puny earth can harm me.
But one pair of eyes does see the awesome aliens. The eyes of an aged fisherman. By the beard of Odin, what have I stumbled onto?
And if our strength were not enough, we could rely upon our weapons.
It will be child's play to conquer this planet when our main invasion force arrives.
Page 3.
I must run to the village and sound the alarm. But when the old fisherman tells his story...
Stone creatures from outer space? What nonsense do you speak?
Begone, old man. Do not waste our time with fairy tales.
It sounds fantastic, and yet the man doesn't appear mad. I wonder...
The following day, Dr. Don Blake decides to explore the coastal area described by the fisherman.
So far, I've seen no sign... Wait. What's this? Footprints. They lead around a bend. It's them. The aliens. They're just as he said they were. Men of stone.
Remember, death to any who discover our presence.
If they find me here, they'll kill me. I'd better leave while...
Snap!
Blast it. I stepped on a twig.
Lo, an earthling. He has seen us.
After him. Do not let him escape.
I can't run fast enough. They'll soon catch up to me. Oh! I tripped. I'm helpless without my cane. Wait. Perhaps I can hide in those caves. Made it. But they're bound to find me soon. If only there were a way out. Back there. There is another exit. But it's blocked by this boulder. Oh, it's hopeless. I can't budge it at all. The cave is so dank, so gloomy, and airless. It seems no human has set foot in here for ages. Sigh. I might as well wait for the stone man to find me. I'm trapped.
But suddenly...
The wall is opening. I must have pressed some kind of hidden lever when I leaned against it. It's a secret chamber. But there's nothing inside. except that gnarled wooden stick, like an ancient cane. I wonder, perhaps by using this as a lever, I can move the boulder. I still can't budge it, but I must keep trying. Mustn't give up. It's my only chance to escape. No, it's hopeless. Even a bulldozer couldn't move that giant rock.
In helpless anger, Don Blake strikes the useless cane against the immovable boulder. And as he does so...
What?
Stage 5.
The cave is bathed in blinding light, like a fiery bolt of lightning. And the ancient cane, it's changing shape. And I'm changing too.
Can this be really happening, or am I going mad? No, it isn't mad. I can feel my body bursting with power. Power such as I've never known. The cane. It has become a mighty hammer. And I have been transformed into... Wait. There are words inscribed on the hammer. Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. Thor, the legendary god of thunder, the mightiest warrior of all mythology. This is his hammer, and I am Thor. A few moments ago, I couldn't even budge this boulder, but now...
Part 2. The power of Thor.
I can lift it as if it were cardboard.
Page 7.
The stone creatures will never suspect that their frail quarry escaped through this rear exit. But what happens now? Do I walk amidst the civilized world as a mythological god? Or... It is too bewildering. I must pause and think this out. Thor, the god of thunder. What do I remember of him from my school days? He was the noblest and strongest of all the Norse gods. The 4th day of the week, Thursday, was named in his honor. He was... What's happening to me?
I'm changing again. I'm back to normal once more. But how? What caused it? Wait, the inscription on the hammer. Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. So that's it. I must continually hold the hammer to retain Thor's strength. If I let go of it, in about 60 seconds, I revert back to my normal self.
According to the legend, Thor's hammer had other characteristics. One is that it was so heavy, none but mighty Thor could lift it. The legends also say that the hammer is enchanted. Whenever Thor hurls it from him, it must return. Also, the hammer is invincible. Nothing can resist it. Nothing.
His blood boiling with excitement, the transformed doctor continues to experiment with his mystic weapon.
By stamping the handle twice on the ground, I can create rain or snow. which soon grow into a raging tornado. All the power of the storm is Thor's to command.
Page 9.
Then, to end the storm, I merely stamp this handle 3 times on the ground.
Thump, thump, thump.
But if I should stamp it but once, the hammer changes back.
Into a cane. And I once again become Dr. Don Blake. To think the most incredible power of all time has been hidden in that cave, waiting to be found. But I've wasted enough time. The world must be warned of the presence of the stone men.
But even at that moment, on a NATO airbase,
It's a fleet of unidentified flying objects.
Alert all military units and scramble the jets. The humans have sent up armed aircraft.
We shall soon dispose of them. Set up the monster image.
a moment later, a huge 3-dimensional picture flashes across the sky.
What in the name of heaven is it?
It's heading right for us. We can't bank in time.
Hit the silk.
How easily we tricked the Earthlings.
Naturally, the humans are a primitive race.
It shall be child's play to conquer them.
Behold how they try to stop us with missiles.
As though mere rockets could penetrate our atomic force fields.
The Earthlings have nothing that can keep us from descending upon them. Nothing.
Earth's weapons are useless against the invaders. But perhaps what 20th century science can't do.
The god of thunder can.
Strange. A moment ago, the sky was clear. Yet now there is a storm brewing.
How can this be? Our weather instruments did not forecast it.
The enemy is a long distance from me. Yet by using the might of Thor and whirling my hammer with the speed of lightning, I may yet be able to streak through the sky as the thunder god should. There! I release my whirling hammer for a split second, catching the unbreakable thong, and then I am pulled along after it like the tail of a rocket.
Page 11. Part 3. Thor the Mighty strikes back.
Behold, an Earthling flying through the air to attack us.
Do not slay him. He must be captured and studied.
Capture him. How?
His whirling weapon holds us at bay.
Wait. He is directly beneath our captive cage. In a moment, he will be our helpless prisoner.
Ah, he is ours.
Thud.
The Earthling is powerless.
No, observe.
It is impossible.
Iron bars do not a prison make. Not when the prisoner has the might of Thor.
The Earthling is too powerful to be captured alive.
He must be slain. Prepare to disintegrate him.
But before the ruthless invaders can fire,
Our weapons!
The Earthling cannot be stopped.
Yes, he can. Set the Meccano monster free. Be swift.
It is done, sire. Now the enemy will surely meet his master.
There is your foe. Attack him. Destroy him.
That monstrosity looks like it has everything in its favor. Everything except
Page 13.
the hammer of Thor.
Clang!
He has vanquished the Meccano monster,
The human is too mighty, too skilled in the art of battle.
and we know not how many more there are like him on Earth.
Back to the ships at once. We must flee this accursed planet.
I've beaten them. I have proven that the power of the hammer and the might of the thunder god are invincible. Nothing can conquer Thor. Nothing. Here comes the infantry. If I remain here, they'll question me. They won't rest till they've learned my secret. I'll become an international curiosity, but all that can be avoided by one gesture.
Look, the invaders are flying away.
But why? What could have driven them off?
I don't know. There's no one in sight.
Except that lame passerby with a gnarled old cane.
Well, it's a cinch that skinny gent isn't Earth's secret weapon.
The menace is ended. Now it's time for me to go back to the States, taking with me the greatest power ever known to mortal man.
The end. The saga of Thor continues on the other side of the record. Thrill as the mighty Thor battles a new menace, the Lava Man. Our action continues on page 14. Page 14. The mighty Thor battles the Lava Man.
That jet fighter is in trouble. I've got to do something before it crashes into the city.
Swinging his enchanted mallet and holding fast to the unbreakable thong, the mighty thunder god takes to the air.
The pilot is blacked out. His oxygen supply was faulty.
Page 15.
No matter how ingenious mortals are, there is always a chance of human error. But so it is with all of life. Even we gods of Asgard are not truly perfect. There, I've freed him in time. Now to set up an irresistible wind current to blow the plane safely out to sea.
Thor, you saved the pilot and prevented the plane from crashing into the city.
Quickly, he needs medical attention.
We'll take over now, Thor. You've done your share.
Boy, what a story. Thor saves pilot in midair.
I owe my life to you, Thor. How can I ever...
Say no more. It is the people who owe much to such as you for guarding our shores.
And then the mighty Thor, the powerful, dauntless god of thunder, who fears nothing that lives, nothing that breathes, races from the scene nervously before the onslaught of hero-worshipping reporters and well-wishers.
Thor, wait. We want some more pictures of you in action.
Hold it! How about an interview? Come back!
No, don't close in on me. I can't be surrounded. I must have space. Room to move.
We're too late. He's taken to the air again.
Seconds later, atop the Midtown building which houses the medical offices of Dr. Don Blake, physician.
I always fear too much publicity. Too many people getting close to me. For there is always the chance that one may accidentally stumble upon the secret of my human identity.
Then the most awe-inspiring figure in all the world stamps his legendary mallet once upon the rooftop beneath his feet, and... where the mighty Thor had knelt but a second before, the slim, lame figure of Dr. Don Blake now rises in his place.
So far, so good. Now to go downstairs, walk around the block, and enter my office normally, so as to arouse no suspicion.
As the lame doctor slowly circles the block, he is lost so deeply in thought that he is oblivious to the cries of the corner newsboy.
Extra, extra! All about the strange monster of the volcano!
The headline reads, Inhuman Creature Stalks Scene of New Volcanic Eruption. For Dr. Blake has another matter on his mind, one which deals with his lovely nurse, Jane Foster.
Hello, Jane. Although it's my day off, I thought I'd come and speak to you. I can't put it off any longer. I've got to tell her how I feel about her. Even a thunder god has feelings, emotions. Even Thor can fall victim to love.
I was just finishing an inventory of your medical supplies, Doctor.
Page 17.
Now, what was it you wanted to say to me?
And yet, I don't dare tell her my true feelings. If by some wonderful miracle she should agree to marry me, I would have to reveal that Thor and I are one and the same. And that secret is not mine to divulge, not without the permission of Odin, my father, Lord of the gods of Asgard. Come to think of it, Jane, perhaps this is not the right time.
I think I know what it is that you're trying to say, Doctor. You've wanted to say it to me for months. I can feel it, but why don't you?
Oh, Jane, my darling, if only I could. But give me just one more day. There is one thing I must do first, and then...
Yes, Doctor, I know. There is always just one more thing. Well, a girl can't wait forever, Don Blake. Not for a man who hasn't enough gumption to speak his own mind. Good night, Doctor.
And at that soul-searing moment, the tortured human with a gnarled walking stick makes his decision. Grimly, he stamps his cane upon the floor as a powerful thunderclap fills the room.
I can postpone it no longer.
It must be done. But I must do it as Thor, son of Odin.
A microsecond later, the mighty thunder god faces a half-open window, and then...
Noble Odin, show thyself to thy son. I summon thee, O my immortal father.
Speak then, mighty Thor. I grant thee leave to petition me.
My heart is torn with love, my father. I crave permission to marry a mortal girl, the nurse of Dr. Blake, the one known as Jane Foster.
Have you taken leave of your senses? The god of thunder marrying a mortal? It is impossible. Petition refused.
My father, wait! Hear me out, you must. Too late. He is gone.
Shocked, disappointed, the stunned superhero turns from his window, still unaware of the commotion in the streets below.
Looks grim, doesn't it?
Lava Man? Who is he? What is he?
Extra, more about Lava Man. Governor summons National Guard. Read all about it. Lava Man nearing city. Extra.
The newspaper headlines read, Menace from volcano identified as Lava Man. First photos of strange creature from under Earth's surface. Havoc widespread. Thousands flee. Rally troops to stop Lava Man. What one pair of ears do not hear. One aching heart does not respond.
He has never refused me before. I cannot give her up. And yet, I must.
While in Asgard itself, another son of Odin surveys the dramatic tableau on Earth. Loki, god of mischief, sworn enemy of his brother Thor, gloats with evil glee at the thunder god's dilemma.
Now is the time for me to strike against the hated Thor. Now when his heart is heavy, when his hand will be unsure. But I am still a prisoner of Asgard, unable to leave. Again I must find a cat's paw, an agent to do the task for me.
Page 19.
But wait, that devastated area below. It is the work of a new menace who has appeared upon Earth. A menace known as the Lava Man. I had forgotten about him, although it was I who brought him to the surface as a sinister prank when I mentally caused a long-dead volcano to erupt. I shall watch in amusement as he defeats the heartsick Thor.
Meantime, we find Thor once again in his earthly identity as Dr. Blake.
There is only one thing I can do. I must disavow my heritage. I must give up my role as Thor. Only if I become truly human will I be able to marry the girl I love. And yet, how can I forsake my life as God of Thunder?
Doctor, may I speak to you for a moment?
Jane, I was just thinking of you. I was trying to come to a decision.
I'm afraid it's too late for any decisions now, Doctor. I'm leaving. I've accepted a position as nurse with Dr. Basil Andrews.
Andrews? That wolf who has always tried to date you? To take you from me? Why? Why, Jane?
Because I know what you wanted to ask me, Don. And I know how I feel about you. And I won't take the chance of saying yes to a man who is too weak to speak his mind.
Then this is goodbye, Jane.
Minutes later, dazed and defeated, Don Blake walks the streets of the city, his head aching, his heart racked with anguish.
Got to run. Got to leave the city.
The headlines read, Bulletin, Lava Man near city. Residents flee suburbs.
All my strength, my power, useless to me now.
Citizens, take cover. Clear the streets. This is an emergency. The Lava Man is approaching.
Troops in the city. An emergency. Lava Man. What is happening?
The next sight he sees is so startling, so fearful, that it drives his personal problem from his mind. As Dr. Blake beholds...
The Lava Man! Fire!
Humans, this is my final warning. Evacuate the cities. Take to the sea. I claim all the dry surface of Earth for the lava people.
It's useless. Our shells are charred before they can reach him.
Too long have we dwelled below, while you puny humans enjoyed the fruits of the surface. Your weapons are distasteful to me. I shall destroy them. So...
All he did was point his hand. Our rifles, bazookas, they've all turned to volcanic ash. Fall back. Regroup. We've got to make new defense plans.
Age 21.
But suddenly, like a blazing streak of unchained fury, Thor, god of thunder, leaps to the attack.
Back, you demon from the nameless depths. The surface belongs to mankind, and Thor is their protector.
Your word is as futile as your deeds, costumed one. The day of the humans is over. Do not prolong their agony.
This is what I needed. Action, combat, a foe to lash out at. Not for me are the romantic pursuits of human beings. I was born for battle. My limbs ache to smash and shatter. He's gone. Can I have... No, I felt no impact. I did not strike him. Only one answer. He has the power to melt the ground beneath his feet.
Seconds later, the mighty thunder god discovers another power of the amazing Lava Man. As a powerful underwater geyser spouts up from the bottomless chasm below.
The depths are his to command. He is a foe worthy of my mettle, but he must be defeated. Do my ears deceive me, or do I seem to hear laughter? Sinister chortles ringing down from above.
You hear correctly, despised one. Loki is watching, and I applaud the fact that you have at last met your match.
Ugh. Not yet, god of evil. The final blow has yet to be struck. The final note yet to be sounded. The city has been evacuated. All that remain are the Lava Man and me. But before darkness falls, one of us shall remain no more. Look well, evil Loki. See how the Thunder God fights when humanity is in peril. Fly, my enchanted mallet. Seek out my enemy. Let your irresistible force flush him out into the open, where he can feel the full fury of the wrath of Thor.
The costumed one's weapon! I must not let it strike me!
Return to your master, my Uru hammer. You have done your work well. Your flight is useless, inhuman one. There is no place on earth where you can be safe from the power of the Thunder God.
Bah! No mere surface dweller can defeat me.
Page 23.
Observe, helpless Thor. Note how his power is almost limitless. See how he hurls a mass of quick-drying, clinging lava at you.
Let him hurl what he will, Loki. I welcome his attack, for my heart longs for battle.
You fight for your cause, mighty one, but I fight for mine. My people have earned the right to claim Earth's surface for their own.
Not so. The universe is huge, endless. There is room for all. There is still time for you to follow the path of peace. Your people and the humans may yet exist side by side in friendship.
Never! Humanity is weak. It cannot defend itself. It has no place on Earth. Only the strong shall survive. Just as I am strong, and you are defeated.
You had your chance, Lava Man. Now you can expect no mercy. And if Loki still gloats above, he is doomed to bitter disappointment.
Silence! I now dispose of you as easily as I shall destroy all of humanity. Nothing can free itself of the thick coat of lava. Now that I have stilled his empty words, I can turn to the task at hand. I must lead my people to the surface so that we may take possession of all the earth.
For years, men have acclaimed my might. Now, as never before, must it prove itself. Even as I lie here, I can flex my muscles until they become almost rock hard. Now, by marshaling all my strength, by making one supreme effort, I can feel my body throb, my sinews strain. The moment is at hand, the one fateful surge of energy.
At that incredible instant, if any human eyes could have witnessed the sight, they would have seen the body of Thor actually glowing, as though charged with unimaginable force, as he shattered the crushing mass which surrounded him.
I'm free.
No! It isn't possible. Nothing human could have escaped my lava trap.
This is no human you face, Lava Man. This is Thor, god of thunder, son of Odin, lord of Asgard.
Call yourself what you will. I shall still crush you into nothingness. Even your flying hammer cannot stop me from turning into a tower of lava which nothing can shatter.
My enchanted hammer can do more than strike. It can create storm, thunder, and whirlwind.
Page 25.
A whirlwind engine strong enough to carry you high into space, to keep you helpless as you spin faster than the speed of sound. My hammer must return within 60 seconds. But I shall join you before you can fall, for I have not done with you yet. Are you watching, Loki? Do you see how easily Thor is defeated? Are you still gloating, still sneering? No. You are silent now, as I knew you would be, my frustrated foe. As for the Lava Man, he was spawned by an erupting volcano, and he shall return from whence he came.
Pounding the top of a nearby mountain with his awesome hammer, the mighty Thor causes the entire peak to fall upon the top of the volcano, sealing it and the strange race which dwells within forever.
Thus do I return the Lava Man to his own kind. For Earth's surface shall never be violated while Thor endures.
Moments later, a dramatic flying figure hurtles back to the heart of the city and the medical office of Dr. Don Blake.
Now that the menace of the Lava Man is ended, I must see Jane again. There must be some way I can prevent her from leaving me.
But by the time the lame doctor can reach his office...
Jane, Dr. Bruce Andrews.
What? I'm glad you've come, Don. I was waiting for you. I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye.
Jane is going to work for me, Blake. I'm sure you understand.
Jane, I know I've no right to insist, to plead, but...
It's too late for that now. I waited, hoping you'd return, hoping you'd finally say what I've longed to hear, but while the city was threatened by the Lava Man, you didn't even care enough to find me. Dr. Andrews drove me to the suburbs, looked after me. A woman wants a man, Dr. Blake, not a timid mouse. And so I'm leaving.
Don't worry, Blake. You'll find another nurse.
After the two have departed, a bitter figure stares sadly out of the window, thinking thoughts that no human would ever suspect.
Of all those who walk the earth, Thor is the mightiest. And yet, I'm powerless to win the one prize I want more than any other. Is this to be my destiny? Must the Thunder God live out his days alone?
The end.
As for the Lava Man, he was spawned by an erupting volcano, and he shall return from whence he came.
Pounding the top of a nearby mountain with his awesome hammer, the mighty Thor causes the entire peak to fall upon the top of the volcano, sealing it and the strange race which dwells within forever.
Thus do I return the Lava Man to his own kind. For Earth's surface shall never be violated while Thor endures.
Moments later, a dramatic flying figure hurtles back to the heart of the city and the medical office of Dr. Don Blake.
Now that the menace of the Lava Man is ended, I must see Jane again. There must be some way I can prevent her from leaving me.
But by the time the lame doctor can reach his office...
Jane, Dr. Bruce Andrews.
What? I'm glad you've come, Don. I was waiting for you. I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye.
Jane is going to work for me, Blake. I'm sure you understand.
Jane, I know I've no right to insist, to plead, but...
It's too late for that now. I waited, hoping you'd return, hoping you'd finally say what I've longed to hear, but while the city was threatened by the Lava Man, you didn't even care enough to find me. Dr. Andrews drove me to the suburbs, looked after me. A woman wants a man, Dr. Blake, not a timid mouse. And so I'm leaving.
Don't worry, Blake. You'll find another nurse.
After the two have departed, a bitter figure stares sadly out of the window, thinking thoughts that no human would ever suspect.
Of all those who walk the earth, Thor is the mightiest. And yet, I'm powerless to win the one prize I want more than any other. Is this to be my destiny? Must the thunder god live out his days alone?
The end.